Hello, my name's DJ Burnham. Welcome to the engine room of the good ship at Astral, from where I transmit a quarterly podcast of my short science fiction stories in a radio theatre style. Sorry about these rather strange glasses, but there's a lot of new storylines flying around here, and it helps to filter them out. Here's a few clips from some of our previous episodes.
This is a real-time transmission from one of our ships, which is currently in a geostationary orbit above your planet. We have selected this expanse of water in order to provide you with a little demonstration of our capabilities.
The picture returned to the studio, and Zyton addressed one of his cohorts.
Please ask our technical weapons officer to charge one of the low-power pulse cannons and to wait my command. Yes, sir!
The picture returned to the dizzying view of the lake.
You see, not only do we have the ability to take control of your global broadcasting network and to project this simulcast across the face of your planet, we also have the power to do this. Fire!
Fear gripped every soul as the entire lake evaporated in seconds, leaving a mass of weed and flapping fish. The picture switched back to the studio again. Doug Mountjoy was staring at his monitor in disbelief.
Please prepare to be charmed by the unique talent of Omorphia, the Dream Girl.
A young woman stepped onto the stage. She looked like a Leopanian, but he'd never seen such beauty, grace and poise. She seemed to be enveloped in an aura of enchantment. Lambic felt like he'd seen her before, and his pulse quickened as he struggled to recollect, but to no avail. Layers of red chiffon seemed to float around her, flowing across her body with delirious vitality. He was transfixed, instantly oblivious to everyone else in the carnival tent as she filled his gaze with wonder. She carried with her a set of 4 glittering hoops, which she placed at her bare feet. Music wove its way into his consciousness, not from the house band, but something new, an alluring electronica subtly suffused with euphoric beats. Stretching her elegant arms above her, Omorphia sent the first hoop spinning up her body with the subtlest flick of her foot, swiftly followed by the others. In tempo with the music, the hoops appeared to take on a life of their own, as if moving by their own volition. She made impossible moves, passing her arms through a hoop twirling about her neck, spinning them on the tips of her elbows, transferring hoops in opposing spins from the tips of her fingers on one side of her outstretched arms to the other. She sent them dancing up and down her torso with flawless muscle control, before lifting her legs straight up by the side of her head and sending one of the hoops to spin skillfully around her toes. Move after move escalated in mesmerizing complexity, sensuality and fascination, until she span them from her body high into the air and into the hands of a waiting trapeze artist. His long legs strode over to the first taxi in the queue, and he knocked on the window. Its startled human occupant sprang awake. It had been well over an hour since the previous winner had exited the terminal and the driver had dozed off.
Oh, hello. Where to?
The driver straightened his red, peaked cap as Titch tore open the envelope and pulled out his gold foil-covered winner's pack.
Okay, winner's accommodation. Ace Street, Goldpot.
OK, jump in.
How much?
Spin the dial.
The driver tapped the glass partition screen eagerly. A dinner plate-sized white dial, divided into 20 equal segments, was set into the glass. Each segment had a different price, with 20 unicreds being the maximum. Below it was a green button, rubbed pale at its centre from constant use. Titch pressed it, and the dial span in a whir of gradually slowing clicks. It came to rest. The dial had stopped on 0.
Oh, good grief. I don't believe it. I've been here all morning, finally get a fare, and what happens?
Let me give you something anyway.
Titch went to insert his cred chip into the payment transaction slot.
No, don't do that. It's been logged. You're new here. Every game has its rules. Break them and you get fined. No, you won, and that's that.
He fired up the engine and the hovercar rose above the road. As they accelerated away from the IPC Arrivals terminal building, he called over his shoulder.
It's your lucky day, all right.
13 million BC, planet Gasbrid. The Makarod eagerly tore into the hide of a freshly killed ruminant, which it had just dispatched with its razor-sharp, serrated canines, having leapt down onto it from a craggy hidey-hole as the deer-like creature grazed on a tussock of green-orange vegetation. The gaping wound steamed in the early morning air as the fearsome hunter rasped the flesh away with a pointed papillae on its lapping tongue, then ripped and tore away a hunk of ruminant meat with a shake of its powerful head. A group of Pulilates had made the ruminant their home for the past 2 years, and the death of their host had signalled a rapid relocation response. The microscopic creatures streamed into the region on which the Makarod was feasting. No doubt they would encounter others of their kind in the carnivore's body. They would be met with a warm welcome and be embraced into a new fold, an extended family, drawn together in convivial affinity, poised to move on again if events dictated.
Here are some more archived titles waiting for you on the Ad Astral website and on iTunes. Let me introduce you to some of our crew. Apart from some of the music we've written ourselves, we've been extremely fortunate with the generosity of some great musicians who've given us permission to use their work to add extra dimension to our productions. By way of a thank you, here's a glimpse at some of those who've helped us over the years.
To see that some dreams have come true, and to some I still aspire. By my rocket comes an incredible fire.
Well, I hope that's whetted your appetite, so come and find us at www.adastralpodcast.com.
Matter.